Oh, there goes a deer. White-tailed deer. Here, I'm gonna turn like this. There, see if you can see down the trail. Yep, it's still standing there in the shade, past the tree with the red on it. It's standing there looking right at us. It's a doe, probably a yearling. Yep, there it is. Beautiful. That deer had gone off to the left here. I'm gonna just walk silently along the trail, see if I see it again. Let's just listen to nature. Some hogs have been moving around in here. I don't know where that doe went. I mean, it could have been a buck. It's a yearling, but there's no horns on it yet. Antlers. Antlers, I stand corrected. When you're looking into nature like this, okay, what you're doing, if you're scouting for deer, if you're looking for deer, hunting, nature walking, whatever, hiking, everything goes vertical. See that? You got the trees, you got the grass, everything is pretty much going vertical. Yeah, I mean the branches obviously go horizontal, but even they have a vertical approach to them as they seek the sun. So when you look for wildlife in nature, what you want to do is look for the body going horizontal like this, because that breaks the pattern. Your eyes get used to seeing everything going vertical, so you look for that horizontal shape. That'll help you find things in nature more easily. I'm glad I found this place. I was driving about 3 times the distance to find some place to walk. At least 3 times the distance, in some cases more than that, just to get out in nature. But this is less than 4 miles from my house. This is awesome, and I'm going to be bringing Sarge out. My wife is feeling a little under the weather this morning, so that's why I'm on this walk alone. I think that deer is long gone. I'll turn it back on if I see anything else. Here's another little tip. If you're out there in nature and you see a tree like this, it's got low browse on it here, with all this low browse leaves. It'll have buds and things like that, and you see the tree bark, so it's peeled down like that. Okay, that's a buck rub. That means a deer that has antlers was trying to get the velvet off of their antlers, so they rub that tree. And see, if it's a smaller tree, generally it's a smaller antler size. Not always the case, because you take a buck with some decent sized antlers, it'll take a tree like this, and sometimes it'll break it right in half. And then they'll browse up here on these low hanging branches, and then on the ground they'll sit there and they'll do this, and then they'll urinate down their back leg on that. So that would be a rub and a scrape. And this is November 2nd, so another couple weeks, 2-3 weeks, gonna hit the rut. The does are gonna go into estrus, and the does are gonna be leaving their scents, and the bucks are gonna be running their circuits, and their necks are gonna get really big because of the fighting they do. They chase off all the beta male deerkin, and they stay the dominant buck in the area for breeding rights. I haven't seen any more deer. Just wanted to show this here too. Most trail systems have markers. To go by, so this is both an equestrian and foot traffic one. They allow dogs on here too. Now, I mentioned that the deer will urinate down its back leg onto that spot where it's scraped the ground. That's because in their hind legs they have scent glands. It's a dark colored patch of fur on their lower leg, like where our knee would be. And when they pee down their leg like that, it pushes their scent through that scent gland and onto that spot they just scraped. This nature walk has been a blessing from Mother Goddess Free. First saw the eagle, a symbol not only of freedom, which we get that word from her name, but also a connection to the spirit world. Birds were seen in our northern pagan lore as a connection. And then I saw the deer just moments after. Both scent and Goddess Free. deer called a hart in our lore. Here, could have been an acorn falling, could have been a squirrel, could have been something bigger. Got that a deer here. Just think about what it embodies: freedom, grace, speed, strength. Following this ravine along. At first I thought it was dried up, but got to this little part where on a bank where I could see down into it, and there's a little bit of water left in there. You can see we're low on water though. It hasn't rained here in a bit. This is up in here where the water used to be. You can see it good on the bank right in here. There's that brook that I just filmed from the other angle. Very peaceful. Listen to the birds. Now I had made a comment about when the bucks scrape the ground and they rub the velvet off their antlers. That rubbing is to get the velvet off their antlers, and that is indeed one of the reasons they do it. They also do it to strengthen their neck muscles, because even though they may run in little groups of bucks, if the buck population is high, even sparring with them to strengthen their neck and shoulder area, the reason they do that is because once those does go into estrus, then those groups will fight very vigorously to maintain their or establish their dominance for breeding rights. Such is the way of nature. The strong survive. The strong procreate.